Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello. What a great timing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what God is currently teaching me. If you're wondering why I am sitting on the floor in my living room with this plant, it's because Azariah is currently sleeping in our bedroom, and I normally record in the studio, but the studio is like literally right next to our bedroom, and I want him to sleep. Please, the Lord, let him sleep. So that's what's happening, and I figured I'd switch up the scenery a little bit. I have 4 things that I want to talk about, and this is not an exhaustive list of all the things that I feel like God is teaching me right now. It doesn't include things that are currently going on in the world. It doesn't include what I think I need to do as a follower of Christ for the Big C Church in regards to what's going on in the world. Those can be a separate topic, even though God is teaching me stuff in that. These are things specifically related to me and my life, in like my personal, I guess, yeah, just my personal life. The first one is how to hear God's voice again. So I didn't really know how to title that, I guess, because it's not that I'm not hearing God's voice or that God's not talking to me. It's more of like, this is a new season, so it includes new distractions. It includes new lies. It includes new noise in relation to like spiritual noise and worldly noise and stuff like that. So motherhood is a brand new season that I have never been in before. I've been in seasons of struggle. I've been in seasons of wilderness. I've been in triumphant, victorious seasons, but I've never been in the, I guess, lifelong season of motherhood. So it's a lot that God is teaching me inside of motherhood. A lot of things. But one of those things is to hear his voice again, how to discern in this new, I guess, role as a mom, how he speaks to me, because life is way more busy. It's way more, my time is needed on my child a lot more. Whereas in a season of just, you know, being married and building my business and stuff like that, I had time, a lot of time to sit down and spend a lot of intentional time with God, and I don't necessarily have that anymore. I don't have tons and tons of time to just set aside and have intentional time with God. It's very much like I'm spending time with God, but there's also other distractions to go along with it, distractions that weren't there before. So it's not like God's not speaking to me. It's just that I have to relearn and kind of sync up with the Spirit again, sync up with him in a new way in order to hear how he is speaking to me now. Because I do think that the way God speaks to you can change. I think that he uses whatever he wants to speak to us. In my previous, before I became a mom, he spoke to me in what I would call like knowings, things that like I just have a feeling in my soul or in my spirit that like this is supposed to be this way or it's not supposed to be this way, or a decision that I had to make or whatever. I just kind of knew. Or he spoke to me in music. He spoke to me in, I don't know. Obviously he spoke to me in his word, and he still speaks to me in those things. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but obviously still something that he is teaching me. He hasn't taught me these things yet. I'm currently walking through them. Secondly, God made me sensitive. He did not make me insecure. This was a revelation that God gave me just honestly a few days ago, and I'm not going to go super deep into it because it is still something that I haven't fully dove into yet and like exactly what it means for me, but it is such a powerful statement for me because I'm a very sensitive person, like through and through. I'm a type 2 on the Enneagram, and I'm sensitive to people's emotions. I'm sensitive to things that people say to me. I'm sensitive to other people's pain, my own pain, just sensitive. And I have always thought and equated that to being a weakness or something that like I shouldn't be a sensitive person, or people would always say things like stop being so sensitive. And so I honestly like really didn't like that trait about myself. I really didn't like that I was such a sensitive person. And so basically my entire life until just a few days ago, I tried to become not a sensitive person. I tried to desensitize myself. And I just think that that's not what God wants for me. I think that it hasn't played out the way that I thought it would in trying to desensitize myself, because God didn't make me not sensitive. He made me sensitive. He made that a characteristic in me for a purpose. And I think that sensitivity can be used for kingdom purpose. I think that people who are sensitive have an ability to see deep into people. They have an ability to walk beside people in pain. They have an ability to be extra sensitive to the Holy Spirit. And just, I think that he uses it for his good. But the world tells us that being a sensitive person is not okay, and that we shouldn't be sensitive, and that we shouldn't let things bother us, and that we shouldn't, we should just like get the chip off our shoulder or whatever. And some of those things are true. There's a difference between being sensitive and being easily offended, and I'm kind of both. But what I've realized, and what God has kind of been speaking to me, and he gave me that statement of God made you sensitive, he didn't make you insecure. I've taken my sensitivity to, my characteristic of sensitivity, and I've let the world shape it into insecurity. I've let the world shape it into, well, since I'm a sensitive person, I must be super insecure. I must be like, just everybody's out to get me, all of these things. And while, yes, I do feel that way, the world has shaped me into that. God didn't tell me any of those things. God didn't tell me not to be sensitive. He didn't tell me to, turn my head the other way or not see deep into people or not be who I am. He's never said that to me before. It's always the world. And I just believe that people who are sensitive, Satan loves that. He loves people who are like that, because it's like a light switch, right? If you're a sensitive person, something that God could be telling you, the enemy could make a foothold and speak something to you that is a lie, or use someone to speak that to you, and automatically it goes from being something that God is trying to use your sensitivity for his good, Satan then uses for evil. And that's been so true in my life. And Satan convinces us that sensitivity means you are easily offended. And I just think that sensitivity is spirit given and insecurity is world driven. Does that make sense? I'll say it again. Sensitivity is spirit given. Insecurity is world driven. So again, I don't have like all the thoughts on this yet. It's just something that like God is calling me to be a sensitive person. He's calling me to see what's going on in the world and allow it to break my heart in the way that it breaks his. But he's not calling me to see people and the things that they say about me, or the things that they say about my faith or my child or my marriage or whatever else. He's not calling me to look at that and immediately take it as an offense of my character, an offense of my faith, or an offense of anything. I don't have to let the things that people say about me or say to me change my perspective on who I am, because they ultimately, if they do not walk closely with me, they do not have a say in who I am. They do not have a say in the things that I do or the things that I pursue or the person that I am. They don't have that, and I've given people that power way too many times. Thirdly, he is teaching me that I need breathing room. So I'm going through this devotional actually right now on the Right Now Media app, and it's actually called Breathing Room. And I think God's using this to remind me that in the season of motherhood that I'm in, it is okay to take care of myself. It is okay to ask for help, and it's okay to say no to good things. That way I can say yes to God things. Like, instead of doing everything on my to-do list that day, and maybe at the end of the day not having time to spend with God, or not having the amount of time that I want to spend with God, saying no to some of the things on my to-do list because they'll be there tomorrow, and instead spending time with God. Or instead of convincing myself that I don't need to go to small group because I have this, and this to do, or Azariah needs to sleep, or I don't want to burden someone by asking them to come over and watch him. Like, I need to go to small group. I need to do those things for myself. And honestly, even things that I think is so easily taken for granted, like taking a shower, getting a hot meal, those things, I've been allowing myself more room to do that. And I know that this is so hard for moms because we are pulled in so many different directions, but I take 2 seconds and I put Azariah down on that playmat back there and I go warm up some food. Or on Sundays, I give him to Craig and I say, I'm gonna take an hour to cook some chicken, some potatoes, some rice, whatever, and I'm gonna have it for the week. Those types of things set me up so that throughout the week, I can serve other people by also like investing in myself, whether that's my spiritual, investing in myself in regards to my spiritual, mental, and physical health. It's even things such as like working out. I need breathing room to be able to do that, because if I allow everything in my day to pile up on top of me, at the end of the day, I don't get any room to breathe. And then I wake up the next day and I'm still barely have my head above water. And that is not what God has called us to be or to do. God has called us to be moms and to multitask and do a bunch of things. And it is a very hard job, but he does not call us to stretch ourselves so thin that we don't have time or room for him. And I just want to say that in this idea of breathing room, God has reminded me and he's teaching me that I am a mother. I'm more than a mother, but being a mother is so important. And I think that there has to be a balance between I am more than a mother. I am so much more than a mother. I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed to be a mother, but that is not all that I am. God has called me to things outside of motherhood, but he's also called me into really, really important things and important purposes inside of motherhood, such as raising a kingdom kid, such as raising a world changer. And yeah, I just wanted to remind you that you are more than a mother, but being a mother is so important. Fourth, may not make a lot of sense to you yet. I'm still working through it, but sometimes wanting to do God's will can be an idol. And this whole idea of like sometimes even the things of God can be an idol is something that's so new to me, because my entire life, you guys know, all I want to do with my life is use my life to give God glory. I want to use my story, I want to use my ministry, I want to use everything that I do to give God glory and to bring glory to his name. And I found myself recently in this season, in this time of like, we're past being in the hospital, we're past all that stuff, and now we're in this new place where we're navigating new life and we're navigating how to be parents and just a bunch of things. I found myself saying to God, how can I bring you glory in this season? How, like, use me, God, just use me has been my prayer. And what I've found myself, or what I found that God has been saying to me is, more than you want to be used by me, just want me. More than you want me to download information in you, to speak to you guys on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, more than you want that, just want to be with me. Just want to develop a deeper relationship with me, because in developing a deeper relationship with him, I then will have the fruit to speak to you guys or to be used, because I can't be not fully pursuing a relationship with Jesus and also be used by him in the way that I want to be used. And that's kind of what he's teaching me right now, that like doing the will of God, doing the work of God is something that we should pursue, but we should not pursue that over just our relationship with God, our intimate, personal relationship with him. We should want only God, not what he has planned for us or what he can do for us or what he needs us to do. We should only, God should be the number one thing in our life above all other things that we pursue. Not his plan, not his works, not anything else, just God. And if that doesn't make sense to you, I just want to explain it as like an idol is anything that drives your decisions, or it influences your decisions, or it influences your life. So for me, wanting to be used by God, all I was constantly thinking about is how I wasn't in his word enough, or I wasn't being encouraging enough on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. I wasn't making faith videos so that, you know, people could hear the good news of the gospel. And again, he just reminded me, like, it is an idol in my life. It is a foothold from the enemy to be so focused on God using me that I'm not focused on what God has given me right now in this moment to steward and to grow in and to love on and to give back to God. But yeah, those are some of the things that God is teaching me right now. I would love to hear what you think God is teaching you right now in this season. So please comment below and let me know. I'd love to have a conversation, even a conversation amongst the comments with all of you guys, just rooting each other on, praying for each other. And if any of these things that God is teaching me has resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up. I'm really, really grateful to be back doing faith videos because it's just that's where my heart is. My channel is not about my son. My channel is not about me or my marriage or my life. My channel is about using my life to bring God glory, and that includes doing videos like this. So if you made it to this point in this video, thank you. If you stick around and you watch these faith videos when maybe you've come here to watch my vlogs, thank you for that, because this is what my channel is about. This is what started all of this. And this is ultimately what I want to share most. Remember to love God, love yourself, and love people, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.